Good afternoon guys, good evening. It's 3:45 p.m. Today I am preparing a video early. So let's start with pre-market notes, right? So today was a good day actually. We were able to pick up the entire up move today, during FOMC and before FOMC of the open also, So we just took longs, no shorts, okay? So notes were very simple today. No story writing today. Today is FOMC, anything can happen. We have already seen down move yesterday, overnight opposite move, right, which was an up move. These moves are telling you that neither side is in control for this week. As long as price move out of the certain range and generate a consistent moves 2 days in a row, okay? So going into the day, neutral idea based on the pre-market note, based on the Discord pre-market voice commentary, idea was 60% buyers favoring and 40% sellers. Also RTY and Dow, those are the two indexes holding well for buyers so far, so they have to continue to hold. Eventually all four indexes have to move in the same space, same pace and same direction, right? So RTY, this is the location. As long as it is above, buyers have a control. Gold, you can read through the same description. Gold is now ready to go long. It touched 1750, so gold is still good, right? Multiple efforts below, try to break this 20 level, it couldn't. Dream number, very powerful number as usual, right? Every day 291, 269, today's low came out in between this level and then price never looked back, right? So also there were comments, right? So these notes were generalized notes today, but there were specific comments in that we discussed, certain scenarios like if price behaves this way, and then go this side, you take a long or short, all this thing. And also there were some notes in the charts, so I'll explain that. So this is what we discussed in Discord, right? So, and these were the notes, that I put it when I shared this chart at 6 o'clock in the morning, that this is the option level, right? You can read through this comment. I'm not going to repeat it, right? And yesterday, and then they failed yesterday, and then today price is, this was yesterday's story. Today price is holding these levels, right? Entire overnight pretty much. So at least these buyers are controlling, This was a line in sand, right? Below sellers will become active. Price didn't even come there. Here hunting level, above buyers becoming active. FOMC has to hold above this for buyers, right? Now you see it, right of the open, few minutes price was holding above it, right? That means buyers are in control, right? Above buyers are confirming above this 85 line, and you can see it, this line held it here, right? Before FOMC, but after FOMC you can see it during FOMC, even somebody shorted it also, right? But then what happens? See, that is the key. This area was FOMC has to hold above this for buyers, right? That was the early morning comment, see, so early morning comment was this, above buyers becoming active. This FOMC has to hold above this for buyers. This comment I put it at 134, when I shared the chart again with this comment added, that it has to hold above it, and you can see it here, it held it, right? First time, second time. So I also told the folks in the Discord at that time, 1:30 p.m. or during FOMC 2 p.m. when price came here, I said you can go long, and your stop has to be at 63.50, and then if you go long here, you can target this new high, any new high above this high. And I gave two specific level, 96 and 4015, which is this level, So these two levels I gave them as a target. Stop loss was 63.50. I said you have to respect the stop loss. That means if price goes down from here going down, you have to respect your stop loss. You cannot move it, And even though if it's chopping around when Powell is talking, whatever, you have to respect and you have to hold it, that's the only condition if you want to take this trade, right? And then look, you can see this time, second time when it came down, I said you have to respect your stop loss. while I was talking, I missed this move, but I catch up, I was already done trading anyway. So I took the later on long here, at aggressively, right? So but since aggressive long comes with aggressive stop, I cannot put 63 stop when I am going long at 75, right? And while Powell is supposed to talk. So 2 times, I tried long here, stopped out. When it came down here, I said I'm going to go short even at 67, right? Now I knew that 63.50 it has to take out, but I was willing to take short here, below. Now at this time, since I was not holding this long, right, because I didn't have this chance, I did not go long here. But then I told members that if you are long, you have to hold your longs, but new entries you cannot initiate here. It's just a mind thing, First time fine, if you're holding it, hold it. Second time you can't enter it here, because I was watching live, right? So instead I waited, when price went higher, then I went long, here, and then Q460, which is right here, above here, I went long here later on, and then those were my trades during FOMC, right? Now before FOMC, I got enough points here, because I was able to catch early longs here at 62, at this 62, and NQ at this 325, so I had these 2 longs, and then later on I bailed out, around somewhere around here, and this thing I bailed out around somewhere around here, but so I had enough points for the day, but so FOMC I only traded micros, but I traded like 5-6 micros, when I see okay now it's breaking out, I did like 5-6 micros in both ES and NQ together, like top of, like, just getting commission out basically, for the day. So but here, so this is what we discuss here. So when it came down to 55 right of the open, it came down to 55. So I said 55 could be the long setup. It's a yesterday's high, and now buyers have to hold it above it since they took initiative, right? And then internals were, momentum was good, like supporting buyers. However, AD was trending down, but it was, way positive, right? So this little down move doesn't matter. That is what I said in the morning, focus on 55. It has to hold it. So first time I went long at 55, then price went higher in my favor in this candle, and then it came down again. That I didn't like it, so I cut it at break even. Then it still held it, then it went higher. That's where I went long, on the way up I went long, at 62, and then I put my stop at 55, because by that time momentum was holding very nicely, and that's it. NQ also proved it at the same time. So I was watching NQ also, so what NQ said is, okay, these are the comments for NQ, you can read it, so NQ's comments were dream number, yesterday's high, and dream number this level. This is a naked dream number from yesterday, which was not being tested yet. Overnight it was tested, right? So RTH, that was a first test here. See, dream numbers are very, very powerful. So look at this, somebody shorted it even here, right? So I was watching these things, and ES also came down, right? Then it went to 55. NQ came between these 2 dream numbers, right? So idea in day trading, idea is, if price is trading above both dream number buyers, below both dream number sellers. So here it came into middle, so I did not do any activities here for NQ. ES high, however, I went long at 55 because it was holding yesterday's high. Here it went through it, right? So I did not go long here. But what we discussed today in Discord is, observe the 24-hour VWAP today. It is important today. That is what I said. It is important today, not every other day. On very specific days, those VWAPs are important. Usually I don't follow VWAPs, but on some days I say specifically that use VWAP or watch VWAP. So here I was watching, right? So VWAP was right in the middle, and then price held it here, right? And then spike up above this yellow exchange area and both this dream number, it went above it, right? So that was the sign. I saw it as a long setup, but still it was below dream number. This I couldn't go long here, right? Then what happened around 9:38? You can see it here also. This went above this high, this went above this dream number, right? That's where I took long in both ES and NQ together, right? And target was this or even this, either one. Those are the good targets, right? And you can take a profit, right? Here it went above this line, you can take another long based on 5-minute time frame, so, and that's it. And then ES was chopping around while NQ was moving higher. So that was the sign that ES is eventually going to catch up, because momentum was completely above zero, 100%. And even though AD was going down, it was just balancing. But this guy, that was the momentum was the key today. It was holding nicely, and then when the pullback happened here, I also said to go long here at 10:15 or 10:05, right? And at that time NQ was at 375 pullback. This line, this was not a green line, by the way, this was a white line. I made it green line later on. But so it came down here, it held this line even aggressively, it even held it, right? And then this area held it 64, right, again. So these were the signs, and then momentum was holding. This was a confluence area also, which I suggested to go long here, because it was VWAP, intraday VWAP, mid, this VWAP, this bottom of this hunting level, everything was there, and momentum was holding. See, every down move, momentum did not buzz. It throughout the every down move, it held it pretty much above zero line and consistently made plus 600. Those are the signs that buyers are in control intraday. Momentum is strong to the upside, right? So at this point onwards, I said no shorts during FOMC, at one point in time, during around sometime here. And so no shorts today, just stick with longs. Momentum is your friend, here. And now price is trading above hunting level here, and NQ was rising. There is no point, going against the day, against this trend, And at this point, most likely, see here, it's going to test hunting level. That is what I said in Discord, right? And ES will most likely go here, and they will die down, till FOMC, and then they will make a move somewhere, But by that time, they was already trending up, so there is no point going short during FOMC, Combining all these things, it's holding it, it broke above certain levels, it makes sense to stick with long, right? And then here, so these are the longs, all these are the longs. But usually I prefer only one trade before FOMC, so I did not trade this. After I took the profit, I said no trading till FOMC, right? So most of us did not trade it. But since I was in and out during lunchtime and all these things, I took these shorts also, just to show that level works, So in SIM account though, okay. So this was a SIM short because this is our powerful hunting level, right? So that was a short, and this was the max target, and then this line has to hold for FOMC. This was the max target 1, right? And ES max target was 996 and 4015, which is right here above, right? So I took this SIM short in when I was like during lunch time, so hold on, these are the shorts, right? So if you zoom in, see, this was from top of the hunting level, right? 445, see my shorts right at the top, right? My target was this 409 and 390. 390 I didn't get it, 409 I get it, right? And then that was a second short at 470, 75, the max target line, this was the short at 465, right? See, this was my target, it was reached, right? So, but it was SIM, right? I can't trade it officially regardless, because the trend day was up, right? So I usually don't do counter, right? Regardless, whatever the signals are here, whatever I can see, whether the levels are good or bad, I don't care. So that's why it was only SIM. And anyway, my rule says no trading, once you are done with trading one trade, FOMC, you have to wait, right? And these were the longs also, from this line. See, these were our lines, our levels. So you can see the way it bounced from touching this level. This was a long setup here also. That was long setup here also. So, and then during FOMC, see, this is where the magic comes, right? So up to this point we know that price is trending higher. See here, right here, it was trending higher before FOMC, right? And I said, and then I at 134, right? So hold on, 134, which is this is the comment I put it. During FOMC we are going to look for longs at pullback as long as ES is holding above 68, 64, right? So you can draw a line at 68, 64, right? That is your level basically, right? And NQ 350 to 405, right? And those are the levels it has to hold above, buyers basically, right? So then you can see it here. Let me remove this. So you can draw a line at 68, which is this, right, to 64, which is this, right? So basically this area, right? And NQ 350, which is this, somewhere here, right? And then 405, which is this line, right? So this is the area that it has to hold, correct? So which is this area pretty much, right? So you can see it right of the FOMC. Price went higher, came down right here, right? And that was a VWAP also, lining up with the hunting level, which was broken, and price was holding above it. So broken resistance, powerful resistance turned into support idea, VWAP confirmation with the VWAP, intraday mid, intraday VWAP, everything was there, confluence, super duper confluence. And by that time, if you see it, momentum was completely above zero line. Only one time it broke, right? So this was all suggesting, and AD was holding very positive. This was all suggesting the long here. No? So that was, and we already discussed this long, right? 63.50 stop, and you can go long here. So NQ, now NQ I said I cannot go long here. ES you can take the longs, right? I explained in Discord. NQ you can't go long here. Even though it was 405, see, you can see it, FOMC low was 405, right? But NQ's range was bigger. See, ES was 68 to 64. ES was only like 5 point stop, but the range was 4 point. But then NQ's range was 50 points, right? 350 to 405. So if you go long at 450, 405, you have to put your stop at least below 350, right? And during FOMC, it doesn't make sense to pick 50 point stop, right? So NQ you have to wait for confirmation. So at least you want to see a bounce from either one of this area, right? And it did bounce to the top actually, 405, right? And then also right of the open, not open but right during the FOMC, I gave levels, I said 460 and 425, observe, right? And then we were observing. The first time it went above 460, I went long, like little scalping here, and then I built out right at this red line. So this long I took it right here. I built out right here because it was like first 2 minutes of the FOMC, right? So I built out right there. Then price went through it, right? So I said, okay, fine. If it went to 425, it may go to 405 or 350. So 405 held it, it bounced back up. You can see it 460 also here it held it, right? So now I know that 405 to 460 is my range. The moment price goes higher, it will stay above it. But then we have this high also, right? So I was holding it here. I did not do it because Powell was supposed to talk at 2:30, right? And this was at 425, so or 225, right? So no trade here. But then during Powell's speech, it went down again to 405, right? And then again it held it during the speech. And then it took out this 460. That's where there was a long setup in NQ. And then about this area also there was a long, right? And then you can target this max target and call it a day off. This was the bonus here, right? And this is the aftermarket right now, it's coming down, right? So this 542 is a good long right now. I know it's some kind of earnings driven down move, but this is a good long here. Let me try to take it in micro. Hold on. So what time is it? 4:06. Let me try to take it. Hold on. Hold on, guys. Okay. So I took this trade. Okay. So 542, right? And then I built out right here at this low, like 562, right here. because it was good level, you know, I had to trade it, you know, my target was this, you know, but then I waited and then it was like doing this, right? So I bailed out right at 558 here, right here, okay, but it's a quick like 16 points, right? And it's close to 412 now, right? So it doesn't make sense to hold it till 415, right? But that's how the level works, right? So this is the area, you know, I was waiting during this time, I was waiting around this time that price may come here. Damn thing did not come, right? And look at this here, straight down, right? So it was a good long. At least it will go back up. You can watch it actually, you know, regardless of the earning news, price will at least go back to this area, you know. Still 2 minutes left, right? But either tonight at 6 o'clock or whatever, right, it should at least go back to this area, you know. So, and that be all for regular video, right? And so today was a good day, you know, so I walk you through pretty much in Discord morning longs and FOMC long, you know. So I was talking actually starting 150, you know, but anyway, so now let me walk you through Mboxwave. Mboxwave was also, you know, pretty good signal today, not clear signal, but you have to read it different way, you know. So I'm going to explain you how. This was Mboxwave, right? 5-minute NQ, right? Since volatility high, I'm going to use 5 minutes, and that is what I stick with it, you know. 1 minute I only use for entries at the lower level, you know. So what 5 minutes, right? So the pattern was simple today, you know. So it's all level driven, so I have to bring in my levels here, you know, otherwise I can't talk based on by looking at this price up and down, right? Really there is no signal here, right? If you look at this, there was no signal, right? So but you can say, argue, hey, this was a double algo, but then where does it go? Nowhere, right? Little bit up and then down, right? So here there were algos also, right? So here it went a little bit higher, but then, you know, again it came down, right? So price was not going anywhere in a way, right? By looking at these signals, you can't use it, but the information it is showing you, you can use it. See, every time when it went higher like this, right, it was kind of making higher deltas. See that? So at least, you know, on the way up buyers are supported, you know, they are supported by other buyers, you know, or price is supported by buyers. On the way down, you can see it every time. See, this was my level, you know, this 250 to this, right? But anyway, so I was watching these things, you know, like I came at, you know, around 4:30, 5 o'clock I started watching it, you know. That's where I was writing my pre-market notes for the members. So what I noticed today is this, you know, that okay, 172 delta, right? And here there was a little selling going on. See the pace and pace, right? Here there was enough selling, right? But then nothing is achieved. Effort no result to me, you know, because then price just, you know, you can see immediately 127 and this positive delta, right? And then price went higher, correct? So at least this thing I know this is the support, correct? And anyway, it was my support, 240 was my support. So, and this area. So anyway, I saw this thing as a buyers holding it, correct? Fine. Then what happened? Then I watched this, man, again, you know, good amount of selling here also, right? Compared to this, right? And minus 189 delta. So delta is not much higher compared to this, right? It's equivalent, I would say, right? And this selling was great, right? Here also, you know, like couple of sellings bar, right? But the way I looked at it here is, again it went to support, somebody bought it and made a new high. See, first time here made a new high, like here, right? Here also made a new high, correct? And then immediately buying came, correct? And then again new high in this buying, correct? So 2 times it happened so far, right? So at least I know there are serious buyers here. Then the damn thing, 3rd time it came here, right? I was watching this thing and I was thinking, man, now it should break down. There is a double algo here, everything is good here, it should break down, right? And then I saw this spike up, you know, again selling, right? And then what happened? Then I know if the pattern is right, then somebody will buy this spike down. And then again look at this damn thing held it, right? And then delta is vanished. So this time is minus 122, 189. This is not a selling, even though it is showing you it's a selling, but it is not, you know. So here is a case for buying again, and then again it went higher, right? So at this point it was obvious that somebody is buying the dip, Simple. See here also same thing. See that spike, and next thing they bought it. See, every spike down people were buying it. So if that is the case, then of the open I want to see similar thing, right? So now let's go into open slowly, right? So this is where price open right here, right? And then what happened? Spike down, correct? So this 291, this line was my dream number. Dream numbers are very powerful. Every day I gave two levels for NQ. I gave more levels, but these two levels are powerful. They are called as a dream number, right? So 291 and 322 and this 269, this was a dream number. See, that's why it was holding here, because it was a dream number. So this dream number was holding, that I know at least, right? Going into the day, multiple effort. So this is a good support, and this was another dream number 291, right? So right of the open, price came down there, right? Now if overnight pattern is right, then there should be a spike somewhere, right? So hold on, let me hide these things. Man, how do I hide these things? Hold on. Yes, see, now you can see it. This is opening bar, right? Look at this spike compared to all these things, higher spike. So if overnight pattern is right, if buyers are buying at the dip, then either price will come here and somebody will buy it, or maybe this 291 dream number will hold it. Who knows, right? And there was a 24-hour VWAP right in the middle somewhere, right? So this spike happened. I knew at that point, let's see if this pattern has to continue. If continue, then buying will come. If buying will come and price goes above this 322 dream number, I will buy it. That was the idea, And then you can see the next thing. Somebody bought it, right? That's where your long was, right? So this was my long. Your long would be right here, right? Because now you are going to wait till this thing is taken out. After looking at this buying, right? Now you're gonna go long here, right? And then you will write it up, correct? So now why, and then why it paused here? These were my levels. All these lines you see, they were my levels, right? And there were a couple of shorts also here, right? But I am not gonna discuss the shorts, because I told members not to take shorts, only look for pullback longs, right? So these are all the level pullback longs. You can try it here, right? But then before FOMC, you can see this also, see? And then it will just like this. See that? So someone will see this as a divergence and they will try to short it. But shorts are not gonna last longer. Yes, you can make a case for these shorts, but you can only take these shorts if you know the levels, right? Otherwise, if you are waiting for Mboxwave signal, there is no signal here, because this delta was higher than this even, right? So you can't blindly short here, right? Even though divergence was there, you're looking for a pullback signal. So only pullback signal you got is this, right? But it was plus 122, right? So there is no short here. Unless it broke down below this, then you can take a short with this selling, right? So there was no short here. And then what happened during FOMC, right? So this was the levels I gave during FOMC, and you can see it that price has to hold above 405 375, which is this level 405 and this 375, right? So that was the level for FOMC for our members, and we were watching it, right? So now I'm not going to talk about the levels. You can watch my regular video, which is few minutes before this video, right? And then you understand what I'm talking about right now. But based on Mboxwave, let's see, because I really didn't watch Mboxwave at that time, I was watching the pure price. But see here on the way down, you can see plus 3 and algo, right? Again, same thing, same morning pattern which we just discussed, right? Spike down, somebody will buy it, correct? So here you can see, if you already notice all this pattern, then you will be able to buy it right here. When you see the spike, you wait. When you see it jump up, you buy. Put your stop below, right here, right below this lows, right? Because FOMC price can technically go down a little bit more, right? Like spike down and then stop you out and go higher, right? So your stop could be here, right? And then you can go long here, or you can wait for a price to take out these highs, because remember, every time when a spike down happens, it makes a new high, correct? Based on whatever we just discussed. So you can go long above this area, right? Which is this right here, based on Mboxwave, and then you have this buying, everything is confirming, right? And this was one of my max target area. So here you bail out or you hold it, however you want to manage it. Now look, this 542 long we just discussed, and this was a target. You know, I took it this long, I took it at 1610, right? When I'm preparing this video right now, a few minutes ago, I took this long. You know, I bailed out right here because I didn't want to hold it till 415, right? But if you just watch my previous, you know, this few minutes before this video, you will see me talking about price will at least come back to this level, either tonight or tomorrow, but at least it will come back here. This is a good level to buy, you know, and I took the long also, but you can see it already right here. So that's how the powerful levels are, you know. And that be all for today.